Hello, good morning everyone. This is Mr. Ishitu Tasfaye, your biology teacher. Welcome to today's lesson. The lesson for today is diseases of the circulatory system, which is a continuation of Chapter 33, Lesson 2, Blood and Lymphatic System, as described in your textbook page 957 to 959. Lesson objective. At the end of today's lesson, you should be able to list 3 common circulatory system diseases. Okay, let's kick it off. What are the 3 common circulatory system diseases? The 3 common and serious diseases of the circulatory system are heart disease, stroke, and high blood pressure or hypertension. Diseases of the circulatory system can progress for many years before they are detected. Often, the very first sign of circulatory problems is an event that affects the heart or brain. Tissues in the heart and brain begin to die within moments if their oxygen supply is interrupted. Damage to heart muscle from a heart attack or to the brain tissues from a stroke can be life-threatening. Individuals with high blood pressure are at an increased risk for both heart disease and. Let's go through the 3 common problems of the circulatory system one after the other. The first one is heart disease. Heart muscle requires a constant supply of oxygen. The heart is supplied with blood by 2 coronary arteries and their smaller branches called coronary arteries. The most common types of heart disease occur when blood flow through these vessels. The most common driving cause of heart disease is atherosclerosis. What is atherosclerosis? Atherosclerosis is a condition in which fatty deposits called plaques build up in artery walls and eventually cause the arteries to narrow or stiffen. Over time, plaques often bulge into the center of a vessel and restrict blood flow to the heart muscles or cardiac muscles. Chest pain, known as angina, can be a sign of restricted blood flow to the heart muscles. Eventually, the heart can be weakened or damaged by oxygen shortage, leading to a fatal condition known as heart failure. If the cap on a plaque ruptures, a blood clot may form that completely blocks an artery. Clots can also form in large vessels in other parts of the body, then break off and block vessels in the heart that are narrowed by atherosclerosis. The diagram right here illustrates how atherosclerosis leads to heart disease. Step number 1. Plaque builds up in coronary artery walls. Step number 2. The cap ruptures. And finally, blood clot forms and blocks the coronary arteries, or the clot dislodges and blocks a smaller artery, which are coronary arterioles, that in turn lead to shortage of nutrients and oxygen to the cardiac muscles. A heart attack occurs as heart muscle cells become damaged and possibly die due to shortage of oxygen and nutrients. Heart attacks can damage the SA or sinoarterial nodes or AV or arterioventricular nodes, which can affect the heart's ability to beat in a coordinated way. What are SA and AV nodes? As you discussed in the first lesson of this chapter, the SA or sinoarterial node is the heart's natural pacemaker situated in the right atrium, while the AV or arterioventricular node is the electrical conduction between the upper chamber of the heart, known as atria, and the lower chamber of the heart, known as ventricles. In addition to atherosclerosis, drugs such as cocaine and cigarette smoking can also lead to a heart attack. Heart attack symptoms include nausea, shortness of breath, chest pain, and pain in the neck, jaw, or left arm. People with these symptoms need immediate medical attention. Medication needs to be given quickly to increase blood flow and save the heart muscle. Now, let's turn our attention to the second major problem of the circulatory system. That is stroke. What is a stroke? Stroke is the sudden death of brain cells when their blood supply is interrupted. Some strokes are caused by a blood clot that blocks a blood vessel in the brain. A stroke can also occur if a weak blood vessel breaks and causes bleeding in the brain. Symptoms of stroke include severe headache, numbness, dizziness, confusion, and trouble seeing or speaking. The results of a stroke vary depending on which part of the brain it affects. Some strokes cause death. Other strokes may cause paralysis or loss of speech. Prompt medical treatment may lessen the severity of a stroke. The third most common problem of circulatory system is high blood pressure or hypertension. High blood pressure or hypertension is usually defined as a reading of 140 by 90 or even higher. The upper number, which is 140, is known as systolic pressure, while the lower number, which is 90, is known as diastolic blood pressure. Because hypertension often has no symptoms, people may have it for years and they don't have any idea about it. That is why we usually call hypertension as a silent killer. Meanwhile, heart damage occurs as the heart struggles to push blood through the blood vessels. Hypertension also causes small tears in blood vessels which can lead to atherosclerosis. Likewise, the stiffened arteries that result from atherosclerosis can contribute to high blood pressure or hypertension. What are the ways by which we can control hypertension? The ways are diet which is less in fatty acids, regular exercise, and certain prescription drugs. Uncontrolled hypertension can lead to heart attack, stroke, and kidney damage. As we are done with today's lesson, let us answer the following lesson check questions. Question number 1. What are the 3 common circulatory system diseases? Well done. 3 common and serious diseases of the circulatory system are heart disease, stroke, and high blood pressure. Question number 2. What do you think would happen if a clot broke off from an artery and blocked a vessel in the brain? Correct answer is sudden death of brain cells due to lack of oxygen, which will lead to stroke. Question number 3. Why do you think atherosclerosis may lead to hypertension? Great. The heart must exert more pressure to push blood through stiff veins, leading to hypertension. Finally, question number 4. Explain why the risk factors for heart disease and strokes are very similar. Heart disease and strokes can both be caused by narrowing of the arteries, a result of the plaque build-up within the arteries. Therefore, both illnesses have similar risk factors. That is all for today. Thank you very much for watching. See you very soon.